Good Self-Care Sunday. How are you, mamas, today? What have you done for yourself for self-care? Now, before you go through the list of all the things that you didn't do, go back and think about all the things that you did do. I think one of the biggest mistakes that we make when it comes to self-care, and mostly mamas are guilty of this, are not acknowledging the stuff that we are doing for ourselves. It's almost like we've developed this unrealistic idea of what self-care is. These big over the top weekends away and consistent dates with our husband and 1 hour meditation sessions and 1 hour bath times that include oils and flowers and bath bombs. And if our self-care practice doesn't look like that, then it doesn't matter that we didn't do anything, which is a huge, huge mistake. Because what happens is we end up comparing ourselves and thinking about all the things that we didn't do, and we beat ourselves up over it, and we carry the negative feelings that we have around that, and it brings our well-being down, down, and down. As opposed to looking at the things that we are doing for self-care and then building on that, that change of approach can totally change your self-care practice, right? Because a lot of us are doing a lot when it comes to self-care. We just don't acknowledge it. Eating healthy meals, drinking water, getting sleep, calling our girlfriends. All of these, they're so basic and fundamental parts of our day and our life that we ignore them. I can't tell you how many times when I ask, in my stories or on Instagram, what you've done for self-care, and someone will say something like, I was lazy today, I took a nap. That's self-care. That's very, very good self-care, acknowledging that you're tired, taking the downtime, even though there's a million other things that also need to be done, and taking that time for you to refresh yourself and catch up on some sleep that I am sure is well earned. That's self-care. Acknowledge that. The fact that you can make a nutritious meal, even if you're just doing that for dinner at night, that is self-care. That conversation that you have with your girlfriend on Sunday evening while you're making dinner and y'all do a little catch up, that is self-care. And a lot of times we don't even think about that. We don't acknowledge it. It doesn't exist to us. It's just something we do. And then in our head we have decided, well, I didn't do any self-care this week. And then we beat ourselves up over it. No. Acknowledge the things that you are doing. Start there first. The water you're drinking, the ways that you're expressing your emotions, acknowledging the feelings that you have, calling the doctor because you haven't been feeling well, taking quiet time in the car, writing in a journal, reading that one Bible verse. All the things that you are doing, acknowledge them. Pat yourself on the back for them. Try to do them more often. They matter. The thing is about your self-care practice, the basic fundamental things that you do on a daily basis are much more important in building a self-care practice than those big over-the-top days at the spa and staycations and weekends away. And it's the small little things that we are not acknowledging that are the foundation and the things that build a stronger feeling of care and well-being that allow us to function better throughout our day or deal better with things that we are not expecting or traumas or changes in our lives. Always goes back to the small, consistent habits that make the biggest difference. So stop talking about all the stuff that you didn't do when it comes to self-care, right? Stop beating yourself up for all the workouts that you miss, for for all the days that you may have eaten some not great food, for all, whatever it is that you are not doing. Okay, that's fine. The first step is acknowledging all the things that you are doing. Because I guarantee if you take a moment of your time and think about the stuff that you are doing, you can come up with a pretty good list. You slept last night for 7 hours. Acknowledge that. You made a decent breakfast. You packed your lunch and you came home and ate a good dinner. Acknowledge that. All right? When you don't feel good, you call the doctor. Acknowledge it. Please. All those little things. I know I probably repeat them over and over and over, but that's because they are important. Those are the things that maintain you throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month. So stop, take a moment, look at your self-care. If you want to look at the last week, the last month, whatever it is, acknowledge what you did do. My mom always used to say to me that you have to look at the bigger picture. You can easily nitpick the days and jump on yourself about all the things you did not do. But if you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, like maybe on Monday, you didn't get a workout in. And you could harp on that and say, oh God, I missed the workout on Monday. But you worked out the 4 other days of the work week. So you did 4 out of 5 days of a workout. Right? This is a practice that I think I will say for myself, I really have worked at and tried to get better at. And I think as moms in general, we have to get better at acknowledging all that we do and acknowledging all that you do for yourself. Right? So even if that means you sit down and write a little list, once you start acknowledging what you do, it's easier to build on that. The small things, the basic things, acknowledge that. And then go from there. Don't think about the stuff you didn't do. You know you didn't do it. You don't need to beat yourself up for it. I hope that helps you this wonderful week. Keep on going. Keep on taking care of yourself and acknowledge all that you do.